Hi everybody, welcome once again, and in today's video I will explain you that how third degree price discrimination leads to realization of higher profits for a monopolist. The concept of third degree price discrimination I have already explained in my previous video. The link of this video I have shared in the description, so you can check it out. And in today's video I will explain you that how third degree price discrimination leads to greater profits for the firm as compared to a single price monopolist. So this video is in continuation of my previous video. So before watching this video, please make sure that you know the concept of third degree price discrimination, or you can just check the link which I have shared with you in the description.
Drawn the same diagram which I have drawn in my earlier video related to third degree price discrimination. So you can check that video. And here we can see that when the monopolist tries to charge a single price, that is price P. So this whole portion that you can see here, this whole portion represents the revenue which will be earned by the monopolist. So revenue by charging P, or I am simply writing R1 in this case, is this whole portion OXAP. So this whole portion OXAP represents the revenue earned by the monopolist. And I can also write it like OXAP as OX2 DP. This portion OX2 D and P plus X2 XBC plus CBAT. So we have divided this portion OXAP in OX2DP plus XX2, this portion BC and CBAD. So this is the total revenue which is earned by the monopolist by charging a single price. Now, revenue from charging two different prices, P1 and P2. So revenue from P1 and P2, I'm representing it as R2, is OX1 F P1 plus OX2 E P2. So this portion represents OX1F P1 plus this portion OX2 EP2 represents the revenue which is earned by the monopolist by charging two separate prices in the segregated markets. And basically, we can write OX1 F P1 as equal to X2 X B C. Basically, we can write this portion OX2 FP1, this portion, this whole area, as equal to this portion XX2 B and C, as the total output is in the total output is the sum of X1 and X2, this total output. And since we can also write OX output as OX2, this output is basically the sum of this output X2 plus X2X. So we can write it like this also. And is equal to, so from here we can conclude that x2x is equal to ox1, and therefore we can say that ox1 fp1 and x2x b and c, these two areas are equal. Therefore r2, in this case, since we can conclude here that ox2 ep2 is equal to ox2 dp plus pde p2. So based on this we can conclude that r2 is x2 xbc plus ox2 dp plus pde p2. Now these are the two equations. You can write it as one and this one as the second. So if I subtract this equation from this, what I will get? If I subtract r1 from r2, we'll get x2 xbc plus o x2 dp plus pde p2 minus ox2 dp plus x2 xbc plus cbad. So what is finally left here is pde p2 minus cbad. As we can see here that PDEP2 is greater than CBAD, so the monopolist is earning more revenue by segregating his total output in two different markets. And here we can see that this portion CBAD is less than this portion, which the monopolist is earning in the form of extra revenue by charging two different prices instead of a single price. So we can conclude here that the revenue by charging two different prices by the monopolist in two segregated markets is greater than what he would have earned by charging a single price.